Accurately assessing population counts and foot traffic at prospective vending machine locations is a skill you must have so that you don't put your valuable machines that you've spent a ton of money on in places that make you $100 a month. I'm going to teach you exactly how to assess population counts and foot traffic, teach you all the questions that you need to ask so that you'll get way better at this and you'll put your vending machines in places that are going to make you a lot of money. Let's go. So who am I? I'm James Brown. I was a vending executive for over a decade for one of the largest portfolios of vending machines in the world. And I've seen everything there is to see in vending, profitable and non-profitable. And I'm going to show you exactly how to assess locations here. So I think the most common mistake is people ask what the population count is, and whoever's there gives some vague number like, oh yeah, there's 100 people working here. And the vending operator goes, great, 100 people, I'll put a machine in, and off they go. But what really happens is the machines often underperform, even when there's sometimes higher population counts. So first, you're going to ask, are you guys on any sort of remote schedule? You need to know if they're coming into the office every single day or not, or if they're coming in once or twice or 3 times or whatever it is. And that's going to give you a percentage to base your traffic on. So 100 people, they come in 3 days a week. That's only 60%. You can count that as a 60-person location. Just do that simple math. And then you want to make sure to ask which hybrid days they are. If they're on hybrid, that's going to allow you to adjust your machine restocking schedule. And if you're doing things like fresh food, you can adjust when you put sandwiches in so that they can get sold when the most people are there. Let's say they have to come into the office on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You don't want to put sandwiches in Monday or Tuesday. You want to show up Wednesday morning and restock that machines so that the sandwiches get the most potential life to sell through. Next, ask if there's any visitor traffic. Do they have events? Do they have extra people coming in at any point in time? If you just ask what's the population, people are just going to give you the population. But what if they have crazy events and there's people rolling in all the time? That will also potentially change the placement of the machines too. I remember there was this one account we had where there would be an event only like once or twice a month, and the rest of the time the machine would have zero traffic. Literally the door was closed to this area. But during the times when it was open, it would entirely sell out in a night. And that completely changed how we service the machine. Also, you want to ask, are there any seasonality changes? Do you have a higher workforce during summer? Maybe before Christmas, a lot of companies ramp up, like places that sell books or toys or whatever, they ramp up before Christmas. So ask about seasonality. Then you also want to know if they have any shifts there. If they're working 24/7 and it's a place that has 3 shifts, well, there's a lot less opportunity to buy food at night. So it may be better. And then it'll just help you make decisions as to what you think the population is worth. One thing that's important to ask, and they may have to go to their operations team or something for this, is are there any upgrades, renovations, or changes coming to the location? So for example, rec centers are really good, but where I'm from, the city owns a decent amount of the rec centers, and they decided they were going to go on an upgrade spree, and they were closing down the rec centers for sometimes 3 to 6 months. Like, it was crazy. One time they didn't tell us, and they actually boarded up our machine behind construction. Like, literally nobody could get to it. So just make sure you're aware if there's anything that's going to happen that's going to impact sales. This can allow you to potentially negotiate a lower or zero commission in the beginning if there's going to be some sort of event that will impact sales. So use that to your advantage. So one thing that can really impact your sales is access to food on site. So you need to know if there are any cafeterias or any places that they can get food that are really nearby. Think 1 to 2 blocks away. And then if they do have options within the location for food, are they subsidized? Nobody asks this question. And if If you put a vending machine in where there's subsidized food, expect the vending machine to do nothing. Nobody's paying extra for the vending machine. If they do have subsidized options, you've got to get a subsidized vending machine as well. And just overall, if you can ever get a subsidized vending machine in a location, it's going to sell dramatically more because everything's such a low price and they have access to it. So very, very important conversation to always have to try and get a location to subsidize the food options on site. There's a lot to putting together the puzzle of location, populations, and foot traffic. It's a skill that you're going to have to work on over time. I've seen a lot of misses on population assessments in my day. So just, be easy on yourself, but really think about it when you're trying to figure out if you should land an account or not. This is what separates a great operator from a good operator. I actually show people how to do all of this, how to land accounts, how to optimize machines, and much more based upon my years of experience. So down in the description and in the linked comment, I'm going to have a link to my Skool community where I teach all this for a very low monthly fee. And just one final piece of advice, make sure that when you do land the account, you walk the entire space and you be very diligent about where you put machines. I talked about the location where they had events and the machines were locked away most of the month. It's critical to understand this nuance so that you can put the machines in the best place and make the most money possible. We actually used to have salespeople go and review all of our big accounts on a yearly basis and check all of the machine placements, like current placements versus where they should be. Look at the lowest machines that are making the least amount of revenue at, say, a college or something. Take those machines and move them somewhere else that makes more sense. So this is critical long-term from an upkeep perspective as well.